Ich möchte mich an dieser Stelle mal herzlich bedanken bei allen Leuten, die jetzt gerade eingeschaltet haben, die gesagt haben, Quantum Break, das gucke ich mir an.
Ihr seid ganz Special Snowflakes.
Ihr seid wirklich besonders, weil wieso interessiert euch das?
Nein. Also wieso interessiert die anderen das nicht?
Das frage ich mich. Das ist die korrekte Frage. Wir haben festgestellt, dass Quantum Break nicht nur bei uns, sondern auch international gefühlt kein Schwein interessiert. Ja. Aber uns beide interessiert.
Hat überall so irgendwie ein Drittel der Klicks, die alle anderen Videos hätten.
Ist wirklich faszinierend, das zu beobachten.
Selbst bei so YouTubern, die irgendwie 1,5 bis 3 Millionen Views pro Video haben die beiden Quantum Breaks Videos dann 700, 500.000 oder sowas. Ja. Das zieht sich wirklich durch die Bank weg, dass dieses Spiel einfach kein Schwein interessiert. Aber wir haben da viel Spaß mit. Du bist so ein bisschen in die Story investiert. Aber ich glaube, du magst das Spiel vor allen Dingen selbst ganz gern.
Genau, mir gefällt das Gameplay. Wir müssen noch dazu sagen, wir hatten jetzt ein bisschen Pause zwischen der letzten Aufnahme und dem hier. Die hattet ihr jetzt nicht. Aber
ich hoffe, du bist immer noch einigermaßen
euch dem bewusst. Wir haben jetzt hier gerade vor der Folge noch ein bisschen gerecapt.
Genau.
Ich denke,
wir sind gerade auf dem Weg zu Beth, damit wir mit Beth zusammen irgendwo. Genau, stopp, ich habe noch was vergessen. Wir haben einen Koffer gefunden, wo der in der allerersten Episode hat uns William zu seinem Auto geschickt und wir sollten da was holen. Und wir haben gesagt, nee, ging nicht, aber da müssen wir mit einem anderen Auto fahren. Und er hat gesagt, nein, ich muss zu meinem Auto. Und jetzt haben wir den Koffer gefunden, der in dem Auto war. Und da war halt ein Schlüssel zu einem Schwimmbad drin. Und dann hat uns Beth angerufen und gesagt, ja, okay, ich hole dich gleich ab.
Ja. Will, I put all of your paperwork regarding the purchase of the Bradbury swimming pool in this folder. I knew you'd lose track of the documents otherwise. I've made sure that the purchase can't be traced back to funds from your research grant. I don't know what you're up to and it's not my business to ask, but we've known each other long enough for me to say this. I trust that you know what is best for you, but I can't pretend that I'm not concerned. Your career is showing so much promise and your recent actions feel like a drastic turn in a direction I can't begin to understand. I kept my promise and haven't told Jack or anyone else about this, but he's worried about you even if he doesn't know how to show it. Jack hasn't heard from you in months. He needs you. Your attorney and friend, Alison Cunningham.
Da muss man ja auch nochmal sagen, wir sind ja der jüngere Bruder, Jack ist ja der jüngere Bruder und die Eltern sind ja gestorben von den beiden und dann hat sich kurz danach der Will angefangen so zurückzuziehen in seiner Research und keiner wusste, was das soll und er war dann alleine. Da sollte man das Datum dazu machen, das ist wichtig.
Okay, also 5. Juli 2010. It's gone, countermeasure is gone, what happened? Call me immediately. Where are you? Have you taken it? It's not safe in the open. You don't understand the power of this device. I dialed the number you gave me in case of emergencies. You aren't answering. What is going on? I'm freaking out. Still trying to call me. Fuck. Call me. Email me. Something. I can't sleep.
Das ist schon eine Woche später. Deswegen sage ich, Datum ist da relativ wichtig.
Stimmt, 11. Juli. Please call me. Ist auch schon wieder deutlich später.
9. August.
The number you gave me is now disconnected. Where are you? Hello. November. Ein halbes Jahr später.
Ja.
It has been a year. I still haven't heard anything. You know where to find me. Das ist auch wieder.
Noch ein Jahr später.
I've given up hope that you're still listening. I'm not sure why I'm writing this. Maybe to get some closure. You changed the course of my life when you entered it. I spent over a decade devoted to your cause. I sacrificed every relationship I had, pushed away everyone I love, all in the name of a lie. There's no threat coming. There never was. I have to force myself to believe this. It's the only way to move on. It's the only way to pick up the pieces and start over. This is goodbye.
Das ist dann 4. Oktober 2016, okay, also ganz kurz bevor das hier gerade passiert ist.
Das war am 9. oder so? Oder
8. glaube ich.
8.
Oder 7. Bin mir nicht sicher.
I've seen it. The cause of the fracture exists. It's here. Are you still out there? Beth. The time has arrived. It's here. Everything you warned me about is about to come to fruition. Please give me a sign that you're still out there. Put my mind at ease. Tell me you have the countermeasure. I'm losing my mind over here. I spent years trying to convince myself that you were wrong all this time and that I built the countermeasure for nothing. I tried to move on, pick up the pieces, but now I have seen the proof. Paul Serene brought me in to advise on an experiment at the university. They've built another time machine, almost an exact replica of my own design, but with key flaws in the calculations. Just like you said, if they activate this machine, then the fracture will occur. How is this possible? How have they followed my designs so closely? Somebody's been watching me all this time, haven't they? Somebody is orchestrating this, all of it. I'm being followed. At first I thought it was paranoia, but it's true. A man has been watching my every move. I secretly took his photo, ran a search. His name is Liam Burke. He works for security division of Monarch Solutions. I first noticed it weeks ago, but this could have been going on for years. What does he want? What does he know? How is he connected to this? I need answers. I don't know who I can trust anymore. I don't know who else is involved, what they want, why. I need to hear from you. I need to know that I'm not alone in all of this. If what you once told me is true, then the onset of the fracture may be inevitable, but I can't simply stand by and allow it to happen. Not until I know the countermeasure is safe.
Okay. Da konnte ich auch noch was sagen. Das ist sehr viel Info.
Ja, das heißt, der kennt oder kannte eine Version von Beth, die ja dann wahrscheinlich aus der Zukunft sein muss, aus einer Zukunft, die jetzt entsteht.
Er kannte die quasi 1999 dann kennengelernt.
Ja,
weil da hat er
aber
angefangen.
Die Beth kennt ihn ja nicht.
Aber diese Beth hat keine Ahnung von der Rede.
Genau. Und deswegen fand sie es ja auch gerade so weird, dass da so ein Ding ist, was an Beth gerichtet ist.
Genau, und irgendwann 2010 wollte er halt die Countermeasure holen.
Dann gehe ich einfach mal davon
die war dann weg.
Genau, dann gehe ich einfach mal davon aus, dass Beth irgendwann vielleicht sogar demnächst in die Vergangenheit reist und überhaupt erst mit ihm konsultiert über diese ganze Sache. Ich finde
in dem Plot, wenn man darüber nachdenkt, dass er irgendwie 10 Jahre auf was hingearbeitet hat und dann sagst du, okay, alles so gemacht, wie du gesagt hast. Und dann bekommst du einfach keine Antwort plötzlich mehr und dann lebst du jahrelang in dem Wissen, okay, ich habe alles umsonst gemacht, ich habe umsonst irgendwas verhindern wollen, was gar nicht passiert ist. Und dann passiert es doch und wir haben ja gesehen, wie panisch William ganz am Anfang des Spiels war.
Ja. Naja, und halt auch so paranoid.
Genau, und setzt sich alles so langsam zusammen. Genau wie er, ne, die Investoren sind abgesprungen, weil er sagte, das klappt alles nicht. Und das, was dieses Design war, halt offensichtlich eine Kopie von dem hier. Also das ist die originale Maschine, die wir hier sehen. Parents killed in Riverport car crash.
99.
December 22nd, 1999. Holiday cheer is in short supply in the Riverport community of Bradbury after a tragic car crash claimed the lives of a married couple, Anthony and Catherine Joyce. The accident took place within walking distance of the family's front door on Princeton Street in the early afternoon. Catherine Joyce, who was driving, lost control of their car after a collision with another vehicle and crashed into a utility pole. The other car left the scene of the accident. The Joyces were both well known in the Bradbury area as prominent members of the community. Last year, they were recognized by the mayor for their charity efforts, particularly the Riverport Multiple Sclerosis Walk they have organized every year since 1993. The couple left behind 2 children, the promising young physicist Dr. William Joyce and Jack Joyce. Das hört sich ein bisschen gemein an.
Still under age.
A candlelight vigil will be held for Anthony and Catherine on Sunday to unite the grieving family, friends and the community during this tragic time. Es war auch 99, okay, das hatte ich gar nicht mehr im Kopf. Also in dem Jahr, wo William dann sich auch direkt verpisst hat. Weiß man auch, warum die lange nicht mehr miteinander gesprochen haben, ne? Das war ja auch William, war ja nicht gut auf William zu sprechen am Anfang des Spiels.
Okay, also bei Serene, nur, dass ich das richtig verstanden habe, du kommst ja am Anfang zu der Universität und sollst ihm bei diesem Zeitexperiment helfen. So. Und dann reist er ja nur so ganz bisschen in die Zeit zurück am Anfang, wo er sich dann selbst trifft.
Genau.
Und dann aber nochmal und dann sehen wir ihn ja nicht mehr, beziehungsweise beim nächsten Mal, wo wir ihn sehen.
Naja, er will 2 Minuten in die Zukunft reisen, aber während er da drin ist, kommt William und alles eskaliert.
Genau.
Also während er da drin ist, geht die Maschine quasi kaputt und die Fracture cures. Und während dann das alles explodiert, geht er dann den Gang entlang, weil er halt nicht rauskommt.
Genau, und dann kommt aber raus, dass er der Kopf von Monarch ist und die im Hintergrund
genau, und er hat gesagt,
aufgebaut hat.
Er ist halt 1999, an irgendeinem Punkt ist er irgendwie 1999, also beziehungsweise er hat gesagt, er hat End of Time gesehen. Ne, das ist passiert und dann ist er irgendwie nach 1999 gekommen und ab 1999 hat er angefangen, Monarch aufzubauen.
Genau. Und jetzt hat er gerade gesagt, dass dieses Fracture in Time, wodurch End of Time überhaupt erst entstanden ist, ist so ein bisschen seine Schuld gewesen, weil er dieses Experiment gemacht hat, was wir am Anfang gemacht haben.
Genau, das ist die Fracture of Time, als wir am Anfang die Maschine ausgelöst haben. Und das ist, was William wusste, wo William sagte, das passiert und deswegen ist er dann reingestimmt und sagt dann, mach nicht die Maschine an, hier passiert jetzt die Fracture. Ja, schlecht.
Da muss es ja aber eine Realität gegeben haben ohne Monarch, in der er auch die Zeitmaschine gebaut hat. Um überhaupt erst in diese, also, weißt du?
Jetzt kommen wir zu den Time-Reise-Hijinks.
Ja, ist halt so.
Ja, ab einem gewissen Punkt muss es verschiedene Timelines geben, weil irgendwo der Kreislauf angefangen haben muss, ja.
Civilians Guide to Time Travel. Klischee Working Title by William Joyce. 99. Rough Ideas. Open with a Singer. Schrödinger Cat Joke. Note. Find appropriate accompanying cat photo. No cat photo. No science explained here. Marketing bullshit. Time machine works. Implications limitless. Give me your money. Spiel. Build up existence of time machine. Content here dependent on findings from first human test later tonight. Findings, facts dumped down for the mouth breathers who will inevitably want to invest. Purpose of guide to explain to mouth breathers how the machine works and why. Note, proofread and delete all mouth breather references. Time machine overview. How research started. Include gratuities for research grant. Sucking ass community and investors. Note, also thank Jack for his patience. Now that this is over, I promise to be there for him. Note, too personal. Basic overview of time machine parts. Chronon particles. Note, nobody will give a shit about this or understand it. Skip it. How time travel works. Simplest terms. Subject activates time machine. Step 1 core. Step 2 the corridor. Subject sets the desired time travel date. Subject enters the corridor. Compare corridor to donut in shape to explain. Note, add joke. You don't want to eat this donut or your body will suffer terminal chronon saturation leading to your slow but inevitable death. Note, cut joke disturbing. Subject walks around the corridor. Walking clockwise around corridor, travel to future. Walking counterclockwise around corridor, travel to past. Clock-like design. Subject arrives at new time in future or past. Space-time continuum. Travel across space. Time travel is not a portal. Spatial destination will not always be the same as entry point. Time travel is tied to a rotating black hole core. Note, explain the core first. Note, fuck it, just compare the core to a car engine. Note, look up infos on car engines. Subject will arrive in future past at the location where the time machine and core were located in that time. Cannot travel to time when time machine and core are not active. Cannot travel to a time before core was first activated.
Das sind interessante Punkte.
Cannot travel to a time before core was first activated.
Ja, weil du halt nicht in eine Zeit zurückreisen kannst, wo diese Maschine noch nicht lief.
Deswegen ist Serene zu einer Zeit zurückgereist, in der es diese Maschine gab. Aber
1999.
Genau, 17 Jahre vor 16.
Das ist das Jahr, in dem die Zeitmaschine fertig wurde.
Ja, genau, okay. Also es muss zumindest eine Zeitmaschine fertig sein.
Ja.
Scheinbar.
Ja. Das wird noch ein bisschen
weiter erklärt. Oder der Kern ist einfach der gleiche gewesen. Ach, keine Ahnung.
Das wird noch ein bisschen weiter erklärt.
Cannot travel to a time before core was first activated. Genau. Examples of how time travel works. In 1999, a time machine core is first activated. The time machine is located on an island. In 2000, the same time machine with the same core is moved to a circus tent. Teddy enters time machine in 1999 and travels to 2000. He exits the time machine and is in a circus tent. Note, use better examples, no circus tent. Teddy cannot travel to a time before 1999 because the core was not active. Will bang my goddamn head against the wall every time somebody uses example of not being able to go back and kill Hitler to try to sound clever funny. Note, a dinosaur joke though? Note, explain you can't go back and see dinosaurs. Fucking sucks. Closed loops. In theory, all actions resulting from time travel are already accounted for. Should not be able to change the past. Any attempt to change things was always part of the chain of events in the first place. Already happened. Explain Novikovs Self-Consistency Principle until heads go pop. Ja, das ist das, was mich auch so rauswirft.
Ja.
Aber ja.
Aber das finde ich halt schön, dass das hier Teil des Universums ist.
Metapher to explain closed loops. Time is an egg. You can move the egg, but no matter where you move it, the same chicken will hatch. Note, terrible example. Plus, you could just eat the fucking egg.
Also noch Time, Egg.
Time, something with an egg. An egg is sitting on the table. You leave the room, come back, and the egg is broken on the floor. You aren't sure how this happened, but it saddens you. The egg was important to you because, in that reason that makes sense here later, you travel to the past to prevent the egg from breaking. When you arrive in the past, you rush over to the table, accidentally bumping it, the egg falls and breaks. You cause the very thing you tried to prevent, closed loops. Why the hell do all my examples end up not being about eggs? Note, replace egg with something else. Okay, ja, closed loops.
War ein schönes Ding.
Closed loops sind wichtig.
Ja.
Magst du das machen?
Ja. A Physicist on the Rise Artikel. June 4th, 1997. Riverport physicist on the rise. Dr. Joyce and Dr. Mayer became household names earlier this year when their paper on the proposed existence of a chronon field became one of the most hotly debated theories in quantum physics community since the Higgs boson. William Joyce, born and raised in Riverport, wasn't satisfied with simply being a part of the discussion and decided to actively search for proof. His proposed research project led to him obtaining the highly prestigious Harold Steinberg Fund with an estimated value of $150,000. Dr. William Joyce is officially the youngest recipient of the Harold Steinberg Research Grant to date. While the specifics of his research proposal remains confidential, it is likely that Joyce aims to demonstrate clear proof of the so-called Mayer-Joyce field, as well as potential applications for the manipulation of this field. A research timeline has been established with milestones that point to early 1999 as the period when this research will be ready for public unveiling. We will continue to follow William Joyce's story as part of our Riverport Rising series. Dann übernehme ich mal Erika Cross und du bist Sophie Samuel vom 6. Oktober. What happened to Dr. Henry Kim? Sophia, I realize this may not be a welcome question, but I feel like I need to ask. I knew Henry Kim very well. I went to school with him, and he was actually my husband's best man for my first marriage. Unfortunately, when I moved down to Florida, we didn't manage to stay in touch. Let's just say that life took me into unexpected directions. It was a very welcome surprise to hear from him when he was recruiting new people. And I'm glad to say when we hit it off again. We spoke on the phone a lot, he came over to meet my wife, and, well, it was like old times. It could have been awkward, but it wasn't. Henry was like that. You can imagine my shock and disappointment when I heard about his death just a week before my own employment at Monarch began. We didn't get to work together the way I'd hoped. Now, Monarch has been very good to me, but his death has been eating at me. I know it's something people don't want to discuss, and I understand that there are confidentiality issues. However, having recently been cleared for some of the more sensitive chronon research, I now know that the story of his death is a fabrication, and Henry has become something entirely different. I'm not blaming anybody, but for my own peace of mind or sense of closure, I suppose I'm wondering if, given my new security clearance, you are in a position to explain how this came to pass. I should add that I brought this up with Martin Hatch the other day, and he made it clear in no uncertain terms that I should drop the matter. Given that, I'm taking something of a chance talking to you about this, but I feel like I can't let this go. I'll understand if you aren't allowed to discuss it, but I'm more than a little scared and upset. I hope I can rely on your discretion either way, Erika. Das ist doch scheiße, ne? Wenn du irgendwo hinziehst oder so, wegen einem Typen, der dich einstellt und dann stirbt der Typ eine Woche, bevor du den Job anfängst.
Erika, first of all, my condolences and apologies. I didn't realize you had a history of Henry, and frankly, I would not have promoted you into this position had I known. If you would be more comfortable working on something else, I can make that happen, no questions asked. To be clear, I'm not talking about a demotion, I mean a comparable senior position in another department. You're correct in that it's a very sensitive topic, but given your current security clearance, I can tell you what I know. Unfortunately, I don't know much. For the past 6 months, I myself have been trying to work out what happened, but I haven't made much progress. I know Henry was working late in his lab, and there was some kind of a chronon particle surge. Of course, we know that exposure to large quantities of chronon particles can result in physical changes, but Paul Serene is an example of that. His first exposure resulted in his extraordinary abilities, and the second exposure caused his progressive condition. In Henry's case, that exposure transformed him into a chronon-disrupted wave function subject, or a shifter. It is, of course, clear that Mr. Serene's and Henry's conditions are essentially the same thing, even if Mr. Serene's case hasn't progressed so far.
As far.
However, it's not at all clear how Henry could have been exposed to such powerful dose of chronon particles, particularly as the lab area itself underwent none of the temporal changes we have come to associate with such an exceptional event. None of the containers on scene had remotely enough chronon particle capacity for such a high dose, and furthermore, all of them were intact and accounted for. In short, we don't know where these particles could possibly have come from. I'm not surprised that Martin Hedge was unwilling to discuss this. He was the only other person present in the lab when the accident took place, but I don't know why he was there or what happened, and he claims to have no memory of the events. Despite this, Martin somehow managed to contain Henry in the artificial zero-state field set up in the lab. I am unwilling to speculate as to how this could possibly have happened. Suffice to say that I have many questions about these events myself. Think about my offer, Erica. You're a first-rate scientist and I would hate to lose you, but I would absolutely understand if you wanted to change departments. Please give my best to your wife. It was lovely to meet her the other week, Sophia.
Diversity, yay!
Das ist
erneut relativ viel.
Ja, vor allem auch klingt doch nicht unwichtig.
Shifter, ne? Klingt nicht.
Shifter, ja.
Klingt nicht.
Okay,
Chronon, Field, Subject. Nee,
das heißt,
wie sind die? Kannst du nochmal raufgehen, wie die?
Ja, Chronon,
Field, Activated Subject oder so?
Ganz komisches. Nee,
soweit.
Chronon Disrupted Wave Function Subject.
C, D, W, F. Oder, genau, Shifter, wenn man abkürzt. Richtig.
Wenn man abkürzt. Okay, und er hat das ja auch, aber seine Zustände sind ja zum einen die Vision und zum anderen, dass er diese Powers hat, die auch Jack
sie hat gesagt, er ist noch nicht so weit progressed wie halt Kim.
Okay.
Aber die haben...
Und wirklich zu einem Time-Monster. Ist das dann der Endboss, der so nervt?
So, das ist auch was Längeres, genau. The Lifeboat Protocol, das ist oben, das ist eine Mail.
Alles eins?
Ja.
Okay.
Können wir uns in 2 teilen. Machen für die erste Hälfte, machen wir eine zweite.
Greetings, lifeboat personnel. The day has finally come to commence phase 3 of our plan. Tonight, I will be hosting a gala to celebrate this monumental achievement, to which you are all invited. By now, you have likely heard of the events that took place earlier today at Riverport University. Our path forward has not been impacted by this minor setback. We are ready for what comes next. Your part in this journey has not yet begun, but the onset of the fracture will bring in new challenges that are worth reiterating. I am not able to go over many of these issues in detail at tonight's gala because many guests will not have knowledge of the lifeboat protocol. As such, I am including a high-level document outlining key points worth addressing. The path forward, our journey ahead, lifeboat protocol, status of the survival program, shifters, dangers awaiting us at the end of time, and R&D to our future at work.
Strap in, folks.
The path forward. When you were first chosen for the lifeboat protocol, you were sent a package illustrating in great detail several events that would come to pass. It was stressed that these events were unavoidable. Many of you were reluctant to believe this, but every single one of these events has since occurred, including, to our great regret, the onset of the fracture. This provides empirical evidence of my knowledge and understanding of the future, and I trust it has dispelled your doubts. No future event that I have experienced can ever be prevented. This includes the end of time, if it cannot be avoided. However, it can be survived. Survival in the end of time has been the primary mission of Monarch Solutions since its inception. Your loyalty to this cause will prove invaluable as you move forward. I know this isn't easy, but in the face of immutable facts, sacrifices must be made in the name of our survival. From this point forward, we will have to start making those sacrifices at a rapid pace. While we do know the exact date and time at which the complete end of time will occur, our knowledge about the escalation in status and time anomalies leading to its far less complete. We do, however, know that it will be dangerous. For the first time in 17 years, we are entering a phase of the relative unknown. Adjustments will need to be made along the way, both in response to the effects of the fracture's progress and to the less cosmic events that we will find ourselves in. We ask for your patience in this trying time. Second, lifeboat protocol. You are the chosen few who will survive the end of time. When time stops, your journey will continue in safety of the lifeboat. The chronon particle harvesting operation is nearing completion. The lifeboat has been confirmed to be able to run solely on the chronon powers, regulated by the chronon field regulator. So, current data indicates that the lifeboat will remain sustainable for approximately 50 years. Subjective years, of course, as no time at all will pass outside the lifeboat. Given the preliminary research we have achieved using the CFR, we estimate that it will take at least 2 subjective decades for the lifeboat team to discover a permanent solution for the end of time. Given the nature of the problem, this is of course highly speculative, and the solution could prove to be more elusive than we're hoping. However, by the time the lifeboat protocol is activated, we are confident that we will be able to increase our chronon particle reserves and their sustainability to a point where we have a runtime of upwards of 200 subjective years. Or, to put it in another way, if there's a solution to the end of time, I'm 100% confident that the lifeboat team will have the necessary time to discover it. Shifters. We briefed you all on the danger of chronon-disrupted wave function subjects, or what are now being referred to as shifters. We estimate that they will begin to emerge within stutters only as the end of time nears. The lifeboat has been tested, and we can say with absolute certainty that the stutter-proof technology will protect the lifeboat from shifters. Using a living example in Dr. Kim's lab, we have proven that shifters cannot manifest without the presence of a stutter. We will make sure that you are transported to the safety of the lifeboat before they arrive. Floor 3 of the lifeboat has been built to house the Monarch Solutions Striker and Juggernaut squads, a paramilitary unit trained to combat shifters at the end of time. Their presence will likely not concern you. However, in the event that travel outside the safety of the lifeboat proves to be necessary for any reason, the Striker teams have been trained to navigate the end of time and successfully eliminate shifters. 4. R&D Tour. Tonight we will be sending your VIP passes for the gala, which will permit entry into our high-security R&D facility on Gull Island. Many of you are, of course, already intimately familiar with these areas, given your technological and scientific expertise, but those who aren't will undoubtedly find it interesting. You are welcome to join a tour to view the various pieces of tech that Monarch has developed during Phase 2 to prepare for our journey forward. We welcome you to take this opportunity to see for yourself that every development necessary for the lifeboat protocol is completely on schedule. Your dedication to our cause will assure our survival. Dark times are coming, but you are the light at the end of the tunnel. You are humanity's salvation and hope. Together we will survive. Poncerin.
Das waren ein paar Infos.
Okay.
Jetzt wissen wir ungefähr, was das Lifeboat-Protokoll ist.
Ja.
Was Shifter sind. Ja, so, und wir werden noch mehr darüber erfahren. Shifter Presentation. Chronon Disrupted Wave Function Subject, aka Shifters. Key Attributes. Theorized to exist in a state of quantum superposition, surrounded by a highly dangerous distortion field. Highly resistant to injury. Conventional weapons useless.
Of course.
Populate the end of time. Can only exist in zero state inside stutters. Appearances likely once field fracture progresses. As a result, shifters cannot enter stutter-proof areas. Procedures. Keep your distance. If not aggressive, do not provoke. Avoid confrontation, seek cover inside stutterproofing. Maintain stutterproofing at all costs. If forced to engage, assemble superior numbers with chronotech weapons. No heroics.
They are dangerous.
Und sie können sich nur in diesen Stutters bewegen,
Ja.
also nur wo Zeit nicht existiert.
Das wäre ja wild, wenn uns jetzt hier einer über den Weg läuft.